Hi everyone in English 1301, it's Dr. E and I'm here with a supplemental video. We won't always have these every week, but there are a few things I want to make sure that I cover, and this is based on information from emails from you or questions that have been posed in the Q&A discussion board or in the student surveys, which I'm going through. It's taking me time, but I'm going through them. So I want to make sure I go over some of those notes. In addition to a few things from Irvin's article, because I just want to reinforce some of the ideas that he shares. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, I have my notes. So the first thing I want to do is mention that I have seen a lot of you share that you speak or write in various languages, right? So, I mean, we have folks who either speak or write in Hindi, Urdu, Spanish, Arabic, Thai, Lao, Tagalog, Japanese, etc. So I want to make sure that you're aware that you are welcome to utilize some of those various languages in your writing if it suits a purpose. Chances are I don't know that language, so having some sort of section that maybe explains your ideas. You don't have to go verbatim word for word in explanation, but just giving a sense, or if there are context clues to, you know, what you're using. I just want to make that clear at the start. I know not all professors are going to be the same, but I feel like we are writing a lot about ourselves. We're writing from our first person perspective, and part of our identity are those languages that we utilize, whether they're spoken or written. I am going in and updating those frequently asked questions. So remember that there is the FAQ. Let me pull this down a little bit. Yeah. So if we go to the content area at the top, remember that the table of contents has various modules, right? Don't be overwhelmed by these, but again, click around, go around. There is the course FAQs here in the Start Here module, right? So start here. If we click on that, I've tried to just identify what are some things that folks have asked in the past. So what if you feel overwhelmed? What if I continue to feel this way? Should I ask for help? Some folks are concerned about attendance. So just some questions that I think are pretty important and that I get asked fairly regularly. So I want to make sure that there's kind of a repository for all of the different information. Okay, I do want to go over a few of these because in either emails to me or again in the surveys or in various places, I know you are feeling overwhelmed. Some of you have kind of hit the ground running. You've worked with D2L before, and the way that I structure my course may be very similar to other professors you've had in the past. But some of you are coming back to school from long absences, are overwhelmed by technology in general because D2L is kind of clunky in some ways. It's not as intuitive as some of the other kind of online learning platforms. It's really great in other ways, but I think navigating can be pretty tricky and very overwhelming. Some of you may have some technological difficulties just with your devices and whatnot. So I'm trying to leave all those frequently asked questions and concerns in one place. I do want to know, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, utilizing a browser like Chrome is going to be the best start, right? And you'll want to clear your browsing data pretty regularly. So make sure that those are kind of tasks that you set for yourself. D2L does not like anything other than Chrome, or sometimes Firefox is okay. That's about it. And when you contact the Office of Technology Services, a lot of times they'll ask you what browser you're using. So just start to utilize Chrome. I think as a default, that's just the best way to go. Okay. So if you're still feeling overwhelmed, again, that is not abnormal. And I know it feels daunting, right? Especially if you feel like you're already getting behind. And some of this will just come with more, I mean, essentially we're practicing every week, right? We're learning about the course and where to navigate. So just give yourself some grace, give yourself some time to really get used to things. If there's one area you kind of only go to visit when you log in on, say, Monday, go to the weekly module, okay? That's just the best place to start. That is where I try to put everything. If you're experiencing kind of an MLA question or D2L question, then you can go to those other modules in the content area. But if you stick to our weekly module, I think that that will kind of help narrow your focus a bit, because again, sometimes it just feels like there's so much information, it's all over the place. I have things posted in a weekly module that may also appear in like the syllabus schedule and rubrics module. It's so that it's easily accessible, but that can still make it feel a bit overwhelming. If you're feeling overwhelmed with due dates and things like that, Thursdays and Sundays, right? And if Thursdays and Sundays don't work for you, then you need to mentally kind of think of, well, maybe Wednesdays and Saturdays are the due dates that you have, because you can work ahead throughout the week. That's fine. You just need to have the work done by that Wednesday or Thursday due date and Sunday due date, right? So get a planner, get something that will help you visualize it, even if it's just writing a list on a piece of paper every week. Do what is going to work for you, and know that in the student success area, so if we go back to the table of contents, there is the student success area, and there are different things that can help there, right? So if you have academic support questions, technology support questions, there are bonus events. There's also a link if you want to set up some time with our wonderful tutor, Michael. He's there for you. He has an introduction here for you. Tips, tricks, and tools, advice from past students. I mean, just some things, right? Okay, so if you're feeling overwhelmed, just again, give yourself a little bit of grace and a little bit of time. I need to give my computer some grace. Should you ask for help? Yeah, if you have questions or concerns, ask those questions in the Q&A discussion board. A lot of you have already been doing that, and that's wonderful. And some of you are jumping in to answer those questions, even better, right? But if you are overall concerned about just how you're functioning in the course, then reach out to me. I mean, we're going to go over some of this stuff, but we can have a WebEx chat or a Teams, whatever works for you. If it's just to ease your mind, right? I'm here to be support for you, right? I'm here to facilitate our class, right? This is not one of those classes, and none of your online classes should ever feel like you don't want to talk to your professor, you're nervous to talk to your professor. If you've never done it before, that's okay. There's no judgment, right? So make sure that you know that we are here to help you, okay? How attendance is calculated, I can view, not to be overly creepy, I can see when you've logged in and accessed the course, right? D2L shares that data with us, and I can look it up. But the only thing I'm really concerned about is, are you participating in the course? Meaning, have you been keeping up with the work, even if something's a little late, or no matter what the case, if there is a solid week and a half to 2 weeks where you have not participated in the course, that's when I start to get concerned. That's when I start to look into your access log, because I just need to know, right? I need to know, have you fallen away? Are you going through something? Always reach out to me and keep connected with me, just to avoid me getting overly concerned. Okay. If you're really behind on this week's assignment, should I even turn it in, even if it doesn't meet the requirements? Yes. Okay, so stuff happens, right? There can be illness, there can be family issues or family circumstances, work related, y'all have lots going on outside of school. And I know that, right? Same here, right? So I can definitely relate. My advice for our course, not all professors are going to be the same, right, is to just turn in something. So if we have a discussion post due and you haven't been able to do the reading for whatever reason, submit something. I'm not saying submit something using ChatGPT or using anything, even if it's just submitting a paragraph or two, or whatever the prompt is asking for, about why you weren't able to complete the work, or about something, anything is better than nothing. Okay, this part of our class is really about the practice of writing and investing in kind of thinking about how we write, how we produce. Okay, I will award partial credit for something that's submitted, anything. Or if you started your mind map and didn't have time to finish it, just turn it in. There's no judgment from me. I'm going to assume that something happened and you didn't complete the work for whatever reason. I mean, your grade will reflect that, but you still get something over nothing. Okay? I cannot stress that enough. Okay. Okay, should I apologize to Dr. E for submitting work that does not meet the requirements or that is considered late? No, no, that's your business. You do you, boo, right? Like, I'm not going to judge. You will be graded, right? Which can feel like judgment, but it's not going to be me sitting here going, oh, this person didn't finish their work. That's not what I'm here for, right? So take a breath. Okay, and if you get behind, sometimes this will be further in the semester to concern yourself with for most of you. If you start to get behind and you miss a whole week or something, you start on the week that's current. Don't go back and try to work back because that just becomes too overwhelming. Just start fresh, move forward. Okay, make sure I'm going over all these things. Some of you mentioned in your surveys that you are experiencing perhaps difficulties associated with access to food or financial difficulties or, various circumstances, which again, that information is confidential, it's private. I may have reached out to you directly about some of this, but I want you to understand that we have a lot of resources available at Lone Star College. We are a huge system. We're a huge college system with all of our campuses, which means we have big support. Right? So if you are going through something that is affecting your ability to be successful in this class and others, then please take the time to seek the help that is here, right? So if you go to student success and you go to academic support, because it's about you being successful and needing support academically, even if it's for things outside of class, right? So in this crisis care area, if you click on this link, it takes you to a really wonderful kind of space that has all these different elements and resources. My computer. Okay, finally, my computer's working here. So this is the Care for Completion page. And again, it just has different sections for the different kinds of concerns that you may be experiencing. So take advantage, right? Take advantage of any of this. And if you scroll down further, it shows you how to submit a care request form. Pardon the barking in the back, Hetty is losing it. And it's, sometimes folks are nervous to ask for help, or you may have been brought up in a household or in a community where it wasn't okay to ask for help, or whatever the case may be. Now's not the time to concern yourself with how that looks or with some sort of issues with pride or anything like that, because again, there's no judgment in requesting some assistance in order to be successful as a student. Okay, it's one of those things I can't stress enough. I'm trying to look you in the eye in the best way that I can and say, if you need help, there is help available and you should take advantage of it. If you need somebody to encourage you through that, if you need somebody to hold your hand walking you through the process because you don't feel like you can, reach out to me and we'll do it together. Okay. Okay. So I'm running out of time because I have gone on and on about things that I think are important, but we needed to hit on. So I'll talk a little bit about Irvin in our weekly video. So that should be the next thing that you watch chronologically, where I'm just going to reiterate some of his ideas because I think they're worth, making sure that we are kind of undoing the burden of some of those myths when it comes to our writing. Okay. I think I covered everything. I know some of you are concerned with yourself, others, some of you have ICE concerns for yourself, for family, for colleagues at work, and I understand that. Again, we can commiserate, right? There's also mental health and all kinds of assistance at the Care for Completion. So just know you're not alone. You're in a community now with lots of other folks, so you can share in the Q&A board or the student chat, right? Okay, on to the next video.